Guys, as you know, there's a certain amount of things that piss me off about living in Thailand, but I love living here. I just want to underline that again. And I'll just say that nobody else tells you as it is like I do. And I'm going to talk to you about an encounter I had in 7-Eleven today. Not this particular one, but this is convenient to where I am now, so that's why I'm doing it here. But one thing that pisses me off about this particular one is this, if you can see it. I am 183 centimeters tall, which means in American English, I think it's 6'1" or something like that. And I clock my head off this on, I mean, it's like it shaves me as I'm normally I walk straight into it, and it just shaves a layer of skin off the top of my head. That's one thing that really gets to me. If you're over 180 centimeters tall in Thailand, you'd need protective headgear. That's for certain. Allow me get a few bob, as we say, out of this thing. And I'll tell you what happened to me in 7-Eleven earlier. And this won't just piss me off, or it didn't just piss me off, or it did just piss me off, but it will piss you off, because I can't help but piss you off when I tell you what it is. But before we get into that, I just want to tell you something else that pisses me off. And this really, well, if you know better than I do, let me know in the comment section. But I'm going to tell you, the reason I had to get money out of the ATM before I went into 7-Eleven is because of this other thing, which is incidental to this video, by the way. It's not what the video is about, but it really does piss me off. Yeah, the reason why I had to get money out of the ATM before I went into 7-Eleven is because everywhere else I care to go in Thailand, everywhere else I care to go, I can use my QR on my phone, which is connected to my bank account. For whatever reason, I probably do it bank charges. 7-Eleven in Thailand, let me know if you know any different, does not facilitate that service. The Thais can do it on their Rabbit Pay or whatever it is, or Line Pay. I don't have that. I can pay for every single service and product that I can care to think of, including any type of street food, with my QR code scan facility which is connected to my bank account. I can't use it in 7-Eleven. Somebody let me know why that is. But I'm going to tell you why I'm pissed off, and what really pissed me off earlier this morning, and how wonderfully polite Thai people are, but how incredibly rude they can appear to be. And I'll use the term appear to be, because they don't think they're being rude, because how could they be so polite and behave in this way? Now, I'm standing a bit further back from the counter. Now, it wasn't in this 7-Eleven, but it's exactly the same layout. But I'm standing back a little bit from the counter to protect customer anonymity. And I'm sure you'll appreciate that. I don't want to be interfering with their sales. But the counters are up there. And I was standing at a counter like that. And I was going through the process of paying my phone bill. And because my Thai pronunciation is so bad, the first three digits of my phone bill, well, one of the first three digits of my phone bill is GAO, which is 9. And it appears in the next 6 digits of my phone bill as well, of my phone number, I should say. And the girl who I was giving my phone number, you see, in order to pay your phone number, you can do that here, by the way, obviously. You pay your phone bill here. In order to do that, I had to give the phone number, and she couldn't understand me. Because, of course, GAO means 5 different things depending on the tone. And again, to all those verbal police or language police out there, the Farang who criticise me, fuck off. That's all I'll say. I'll pronounce whatever way I'll pronounce Thai whatever way I want to pronounce Thai. But when I got to the counter, she couldn't help but laughing. And they all started giggling, because I knew what it was. I said GAO, and they started, because obviously it meant something else because I got the tone wrong. But while they were giggling, another customer, before I was finished, put her groceries in front of me on the counter, came around from behind me, and I said to her, I was here before you. I said it in Thai, and then I said it in English, wait your turn. Now, was I wrong to say that? It's her country. It's their way of doing things. Obviously, they're very polite. How could they be so impolite than not to wait for you to finish your transaction and then place their groceries in front of you? It's the way they do it. It's the way they can do it. And it drives me mad. I'm going to get me stuff and get the hell out of here before somebody says something to me for recording in 7-Eleven. But that's not all. So what I just done is, and this is something you cannot do anywhere else in the world, I've just left my camera outside here while I went back inside to buy my cornflakes and milk. And if you're used to this channel, you know that's what I really love at the end of the day. But while I was selecting my cornflakes, the aisles were, you could tell by where I was standing there earlier on, the aisles are very narrow. And this is what Thais do as well. They don't say excuse me. They don't say anything. They just stand waiting for you to move out of the way. Maybe they say it to themselves. Maybe they do. And at the odd time, someone of them will say excuse me. But generally speaking, they don't. They just stand there and expect you to move out of the way. But where I'm from, you'd expect the other person, if they want you to yield the right of way to them, they would say excuse me first, and then you would obviously step back and say I beg your pardon. But while I was selecting my cornflakes from behind, I could tell there was someone standing behind me waiting to get by. I was waiting for them to say something, but they didn't say anything. All they said was that's what she said. And as I looked around, because I'm naturally polite, I just said sorry. I let her go. She was dressed like a hooker. She was dressed like, she's still in there. She was dressed like a hooker. One of these ones that thinks they're God's gift. That's what it is. And they think that they're better than you, and therefore you have to get out of their way. I swear to God Almighty, and I wasn't imagining that. I wasn't imagining that at all. But they are a couple of the things. They are a couple of things that really, really piss me off. I mean, how would you feel if you were waiting at a counter to finish your transaction? The girls were laughing at you because your tie is up the creek without a paddle, and somebody comes along and deposits their groceries in front of you before you finish your transaction. Was I right to let her know how I felt? I'm sure you have to agree with me. I can't understand how they can be so polite, but yet in some of their mannerisms be so damn, or seem so damn impolite. And not only placing their goods in front of you before you finish your transaction, but jump in the queue. There's 3 checkouts in there. I've said this before, and this is not what the video is about, but it's on the same lines. They will come from behind. So there's someone standing behind you. There's a fella standing in front of you, so you're next to go. The till or the checkout immediately to your right or to your left will become vacant. Rather than the person behind you tipping you on the shoulder, tell you you're next, you go there, they just jump in ahead of you. And that's something that they do which really, really pisses me off. And I'm sure it pisses you off too. So I don't want this video to come across as just me saying I'm pissed off for the sake of being pissed off. There must be a few of the points that I've made in this video that really piss you off too. So let's stand together, lads. Let's stand up for protocol and procedure and bloody good manners. And make sure, if you haven't done so already, click that subscribe button, the like button, the share button. Do all those wonderful things. And I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks for joining me.